Good morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. I'm Paul Clark and welcome to my studio. And I hope you're all feeling well. So today's tutorial has been taken from this painting, which I did en plein air on a painting holiday in Tuscany several years ago. In fact, back in 2016. But what I've done for this demo is turned it into a line and wash. And some of you may even recognise it from one of the tutorials in my watercolour book. So come and join me and we'll paint this step by step together. Okay, so there's a number of ways that you can handle a line and wash, and I know some artists prefer to start with a conventional watercolour and then put in the ink work at the end. But the way I like to work is to start with my pencil drawing, then I ink it in so it stands alone as a finished illustration, but just in black and white. And then once that's done, I'll add in my colour washes, add in my colour paint, and that's the fun bit because you've already done all the hard work with the line drawing. Okay, today's materials are, my paper is some Bockingford Rough, £200, but any decent watercolour paper will do. My colours today, normal 3 primaries, Cobalt Blue, Alizarin Crimson, Cadmium Yellow, some yellow ochre, burnt Sienna, burnt Umber, and some Payne's Grey. 3 brushes from my range, a number 12 round, number 6 round, and of course my trusty number 3 rigger, and my number 6 garden stick, available free of charge under any hedgerow. And all I've done is sharpened it just to create a bit of a point for drawing. Okay, so here is the line drawing, and the traceable is free to download from my website, link below in the description. So off we go with my slightly bent garden stick and some India ink, but you can use any waterproof black ink or even a black waterproof pen. Now I'm sketching in the ink work, and what I love about using a stick is you get a real scruffy, inconsistent line, which is the loose and unlaboured feel that I'm looking for. And I'm intentionally trying not to join up every line, leaving lots of gaps and broken lines. And a rough paper like this Bockingford also helps in creating this nice scratchy effect. Now it's often said that when you look back at a painting you did en plein air, it brings back the very moment you painted it. And this is certainly the case with this one. I have a very vivid memory of sitting there in the warm Tuscan sunshine with the smell of fresh Italian coffee wafting past me. And I distinctly remember 2 local ladies, probably neighbours, in quite a heated conversation directly behind me. Now, my Italian isn't very good, and I only know grazie and una birra per favore, but I'm convinced they were grumbling about their husbands watching too much football. Now, is that a thing? E quattro stagioni scoccio, Juve, Inter, Milan, Roma, sì, ma entrerò. So when it comes to things like railings, I make a conscious effort not to put every upright in. Your eye will just fill in the rest. Always leave something for the viewer to imagine. So I'm part wetting the sky with some clean water and quickly dabbing in some Cobalt Blue, leaving gaps for the clouds. Now some Cerulean Blue was left on my palette, so I'm dropping in a little of that too. Next, a mix of yellowy green, and I'm really not worried if this blends into the sky, which is clearly still very wet. Now, I've added some more blue into my mix just to darken it a little, and all of this is still done wet in wet. Now there are far too many different mixes of colours here to list every one, but you can see I'm adding in quite a varying amount of cool and warm colours just to get this variation. And the good thing about working with line and wash is the pen work holds everything together, so you don't have to be too accurate with your washes. The last thing I want you to do is to get into a sort of paint by number situation. Just let the paint flow and do its own thing. Now I know I say this most weeks, but that's when the magic happens. Always love a bit of splattering, and it's not just about creating random splats, it's also a great way to get colour into your wet washes without moving the paint too much. And here is my usual technique of dropping in clean water into a drying wash to create some interesting cauliflowers or backruns. So now we need to let this totally dry. So it's a perfect time for a short break and a little drop of limoncello. Now for the church. And this is a little yellow ochre, and I'm dropping in a touch of burnt umber, keeping the sunlit left-hand side unpainted. And I'm painting in the rest of the buildings in similar colours, dropping in wet, some warm and cool tones to create some texture. Here is just a little Payne's grey. Next, with my number 6 brush and some burnt sienna, a few little details here and there. Back in with my number 12 brush, and now I'm going for some real dark contrasts and using some burnt umber here for these shadows. Ooh, looks like I've picked up a bit of purple from my brush on my dirty palette, you know, but I quite like it. Still, with my number 12 brush, I'm flicking in a few details, always trying to paint with as few brush strokes as possible, suggesting detail with minimum effort. A little touch more splattering texture with some burnt umber. Back with my number 6 for a few final little tweaks. And here some Alizarin Crimson for these simple red flowers. Geraniums perhaps, Tuscan poppies. I almost sound like I know what I'm talking about. Next, with my trusty rigger for these cables. Now you really have to go for this and try and paint them with one quick swoop. Nearly there. I just feel that some of these white lit areas could do with just knocking back a little bit, so I'm just adding a touch of light watery texture using a little Payne's grey. There we are, all done. Finito. Is that Italian? Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and you'll give it a go. Now, coming up now is a very short promotional video. Now, I've had several of you email me asking me about some more details on the La GOMERA art retreat holiday in January. So the best thing I thought to do was to make a short video. So that's coming up in a second. So please don't forget to do all the usuals, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment, and of course I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Ciao. Is that Italian? Good morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. I'm Paul Clark and welcome to my art studio. Now, I just wanted to take a few moments to tell you about an exciting winter sun holiday with a difference that we've been asked to be involved in this January 2022. Now, Margot and I will be hosting an art workshop on the beautiful and stunning island of La Gomera. Now, La Gomera is the second smallest of the Canary Islands and is the perfect place to relax and soak up the sunshine in what can be quite a dreary January. We will be hosting drawing and painting workshops in and around the hotel, as well as trips across the island to paint en plein air. But that's not all. If your partner's not into the art, there's so much more, including whale and dolphin watching, bird watching, beautiful hiking across the countryside, golf, tennis, yoga, and not forgetting music workshops and concerts by renowned folk roots group Show of Hands. Now, they're one of our favourites, so it should be great. And joining them will be the Broom Besoms and Anthony John Clark. No relation. And the real beauty of this 14-day break is that although there's plenty to do, you can join in with as much or as little as you like. So come and join us for a real adventure. I know we're both really looking forward to it. What's that? They make their own wine on the island? That's great. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch up soon. Hope to see you there.